Oh, whoa! No, that's not good. Is that normal? Oh, be careful. Are there any other hazards in your kingdom that I have to be aware of? That seemed not too great. Oh, hi. I'm assuming this is who you talked about? This is Cole. You wanted to meet you. Yeah, thanks, Desert Steve. Hi, I'm Cole. I am a recent acquaintance of the Desert Steves. It's nice to meet you, Cole. It's nice to meet you, too. I didn't expect such a heavy entrance of the whole jumping out of the water thing, but it was impressive. Definitely impressive. I'm sorry. As I said, I'm Cole. I might look a little odd to you. That I've found that to be the case for most of the other Steves. Ah, yes. We do have means of transportation. They seem to be quite sufficient. I'm a red Steve, if that makes any sense. It's a little obvious, as I've heard before as well. We didn't know that others existed up until recently. I ran into the 4 Steves who were kind enough to introduce me to the Desert Steves, and they were kind enough to put me through to you. And, well, I'm just slowly trying to find out what the world is like, because apparently we missed a whole bunch of it. Yes, I know who they are. That's great. You don't happen to know a whole bunch of other, like, Steves, right? It's just Ocean Steves and that's it? Or is there even more? He trades, too. Yeah, I've been setting up trading routes with the Forest Steves and the Desert Steves because we all have things in common that we can share. Speaking of that, by the way, Desert Steve, I picked up some of this string in a place some time ago. You might be able to use that to put some dye into it. I've seen a lot of wool around at your guys' place, so I'm pretty sure that you can utilize that in some way at least. I think it will be fine here, Desert Steve. Thank you for the first introduction. I will, if you don't mind, I would love to explore and learn about your peoples. I've gotten this potion of water breathing. I'm assuming that you meant that for me to use whenever I go underwater, because I can't breathe underwater, I think. Never tried it to that extent. I would drink that before. Thank you. I will. I don't know how many visitors you guys get. I doubt it's a whole lot. Good luck down there. Yeah, are you just gonna... Okay, that's totally viable. A way of getting back. If you don't mind, of course, Ocean Steve. What I've normally done so far whenever I met any of the other Steves is I would introduce myself to their leader, and normally I would have been given introductions, but I've heard that the Desert Steves don't fare too well underwater. So if you wouldn't mind to bring me to your leader, if you have one. That's funny. I am the leader. Oh, my apologies, the Ocean Steve leader in that case. I didn't expect the leader himself to come out and greet me. That hasn't been the case so far. Normally it's other tradesmen or stuff like that. My people aren't particularly fond of leaving the village. I understand. If you don't mind, let's get to a place where you might be a bit more comfortable, and I will test out if this works. Oh, I really hope this doesn't hurt me. Okay, I'll follow you. You're fine. I hope so. That is so weird. That is so weird. You can breathe. Yeah. Apparently I can. That is very odd. Oh, okay. Just follow me down here. Okay, I'll be right behind you. I wonder how long this lasts. Okay, is it any further still? Because, oh wow, this place is huge. My people are a bit afraid of outsiders. Apologies for the place looking a bit deserted. That is no problem. I completely understand. My people would probably think the same if I brought any of you there. So, wow. I knew the ocean was massive, but I never imagined that there was so much space beneath it that a civilization would look this great. Oh, whoa! No, that's not good. Hold up. What was that? Oh, is that normal? Oh, be careful. Are there any other hazards in your kingdom or village that I have to be aware of? That seemed not too great. That leads up to the surface. This one, it was pulling me down to the ground. So is that lava? I'll just make sure to avoid any of the bubbles to just be sure. What is this? Oh, Huh? Yeah, what is this type of... It's an interesting type of soil. Oh, no. This does not help. Does not help. Fear of heights does not get any better if you're underwater. I'm sorry, I'm just not too happy about looking into the deep, dark depths of the ocean. Is there a place more comfortable that we could possibly talk? It's alright. Yeah, I'm just going to stay a little lower to the ocean bottom. I know that I can't fall, but it doesn't make me all too happy. Ooh. Just keep swimming. I'll be fine. I'll get there. Just gotta breathe in and out. And, there we go. And yes, we can go to my throne room. Oh, is this your throne room? Wow. It's beautiful. I love the dome. Interesting. And there's normal air here. I very much appreciate that. Yes. Here, let's get to the throne itself. Beautiful. What is this thing? I've seen you carry it around, and this one seems to be a little different from the rest. You jumped out with it. It's called a trident, right? And what does it do exactly? Except for that, can every trident launch you out of the ocean? Is that a normal thing that it does? You can throw it like an arrow, but without the bow. I'm assuming that's kind of what you're trying to talk about. It's very interesting. And no, mine is more special. Interesting. We normally just utilize swords, and I've seen the Desert Steves do the same, but that very interesting thing you have here. I've spoken to the Desert Steves and the Forest Steves and such. They all had abilities. Do your people have the same? Because mine have, and so far, at least in raw power, we've kind of outshined most of the other Steves. We ocean Steves can travel far, but we're dependent on water and can't go on land for too long. Right. I saw that when you came to the surface, these reservoirs on your arms kind of filled up with water, and they are... Is that what's kind of just keeping you around? We can create whirlpools and some riptides in the water. So you actually have the power to control the water. Is that how you're keeping that water stuck to you? That's very interesting. Huh. That would be very useful. Yes. Sort of. Just a random question. You don't happen to have ever had to deal with any fires or, lava coming to the surface? Because that one little thing with the bubbles that dragged me down kind of looked like lava, but it didn't seem too much of a deal to you people. Is that normal? You never... I don't assume you see a lot of, house fires underwater. Well, we live underneath the ocean. Yep, that actually makes sense. That can be very useful. Sorry, I'm just being lost in a train of thought. You have the ability to create whirlpools and control water. My people, because I think it's fair that we kind of get to know what one another can do. I don't think I can show any of it off here, I'm afraid, because I would probably destroy some of the glass as well as most of the rest of the building. Also, I've never tried it underwater before. But my people have the ability to... fire explosions or balls of explosive energy, as well as teleporting through the usage of lightning, as well as using that as an offensive tool. I see. Yes, I would prefer for that not to happen. Yes, I think the lightning might not even work underwater properly, and I think the fireballs probably won't work either, and if I fire them off in here, I'll probably break something, so I'll try to avoid that. Just explain quickly, or well, simply, what I'm doing here is I am, or used to be, the collector of a group of red steves, like me, but there's a whole kingdom of us, a place not too dissimilar from your village here, although we aren't as afraid. We also didn't know that others existed, so maybe that's why they're hiding. But we have a group of elite steves, which I'm a part of, and we went out to explore to find new things. Specifically, my goal was actually to gather things and bring items back, but I've actually found people to be a little bit more interesting. I see. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm still collecting stuff at this point, but we are trading with many of the other steves. The forest steves and us, we trade in fish, and we traded in bamboo, and the desert steves are great builders, and there's a good chance that we might be able to utilize their skills in a massive project that we are building at our kingdom. So, you've never known of other steves' existence until now? No. In myth and legend, they spoke of others, but we've actually never met any of them, and none of the steves from the previous excursion, like boss, they went out little unprepared, and a lot of them didn't come back. And those that did not discover any new Steves per se, so no, we didn't know, and now being introduced to all these people is frightening yet super exciting for us. I can understand your fear of leaving the safety of your home. Yeah, I assume so. With your dependency on water, it's kind of the same thing. We learn quickly. It's one thing that us Red Steves define ourselves as. Now, I guess that's how we separate us from the other Steves. Apart from our brute strength and the powers and stuff we don't wish to utilize too often, we read a lot, we mark down a lot, and we learn very quickly. We learn new skills, and I don't think that we'll be able to adopt any of your powers, but the way you guys live underwater, it's something that I've never thought of would be possible, but could be used very well. Now that all these Steves are getting to know each other, or we at least getting to know all of you, I don't know how well connected you were with the other Steves, but we found that working together with the others, we can actually solve a lot of problems that some of the people have. The Desert Steves are currently dealing with a massive issue, and one of the Elite Steves, a friend of mine, Beef, was actually more than capable of dealing with the problems that they had. And if you don't mind, I know that your people are a little afraid, but I'd love to introduce your people to mine. What kind of problem? We don't reveal ourselves to others unless we choose to do so. Oh, no, if you don't want to be introduced to the other Red Steves, I'll not do so. The problem, though, is... I don't know if you're familiar with the Lost Inferno. I'm not sure if the Desert Steves ever told you about that, but we're trying to preserve the existence of Desert Steves, which they seem to be very, you know... They don't mind too much what's happening. It was a passing mention once. We're afraid that now that we've barely met the Desert Steves, the Lost Inferno will actually do them under, and, well, if the Desert Steves go extinct, then we kind of lost the whole experience of meeting them and working together with them. Just all that in the future just goes away. So we're actually trying to help them in some way. I see. That's an issue. A little bit, yeah. It might be a little presumptuous, and we've only barely met, but I'm pretty sure that somehow your water controlling abilities can be incredibly useful in what we're trying to achieve. I don't want to be upfront, but if we come to ask for your help in this matter, is there any chance that you could help us? I think that all Steves working together makes us much stronger than if we are apart. I'll give it some thought, but it would be a risk. Yes, of course, and I'll figure out some way to repay you. I think I might have an idea. You mentioned before that you were surprised that we didn't know of other Steves, and you said that there were more Steves that you know that weren't the Desert Steves. Yes, there are. I was wondering, these other Steves that you're mentioning, is there any chance that you could introduce me to them? If you would like, you could meet the Steves above the frozen ocean. Are they just other ocean Steves? I'm kind of lost on this. I'm just assuming that other people have colonies, like we're trying to set up another outposts and stuff. They're not quite.